far-fetched for me to do. I'm already a storyteller. So I knew that at some point I'm going to have to tell my story, the story of my father, because to begin with, I'm a storyteller. I have the words.
Exciting episode. Now, I think most of us already know about the superhuman stories of single moms and how they raised multiple children on a single income against all odds. It's, however, curious that single father stories are rarely told, with exceptions to when an evil stepmother is involved. Now, one of Kenya's current best-selling books, Rough Silk, goes against this literally norm. It gives an account of a regular man who became a single dad overnight and faced prospects of an unknown future for his family ahead of him. Now, the book explores themes in politics, music, child abandonment, and the HIV pandemic, and much more. It does this through the simple but chaotic life of an ordinary man who became a single dad. In studio tonight, we are privileged to host the daughter of the single dad, Miss DEBORAH AUKO. Now, DEBORAH is also the author of Rough Silk and is currently in the US on a book signing tour. Now, the book had one of the most colorful and spectacular launches ever witnessed in Kenya. I think it was at the Pan-African Hotel. Now, Rough Silk is neither about a famous politician nor a Nobel laureate. It's not about a famous historical figure. It's not about a celebrated freedom fighter. The book introduces a new genre of autobiographies about ordinary people, telling stories about normal aspects of their day-to-day lives with no gold medals and no distinguished awards to show. Now, earlier this week, DEBORAH had her book signing in New Jersey. She's scheduled to have another signing tomorrow. I believe it's starting from 2 p.m. at the Consulate Swahili Village in Washington, D.C. at 1990 M Street Northwest. So write that number down if you're going to be in the DMV area. That's 1990 M Street Northwest. That's going to be tomorrow. This book is already available for purchase as we speak for only $25 via Sendwave, and the Sendwave number is +254 702 917 813 to DEBORAH AUKO, and I've actually pinned that number on the comments. So just make sure, we want people to start buying those books right now, because they're very limited in number and you want to get your copy before they run out. So make sure you send you send your $25 via Sendwave and send your full names and shipping address to the same number via WhatsApp. The number again is +254 702 917 813. Remember to send your full names, shipping address to this number via WhatsApp. Now, the book's availability on Amazon will be communicated at a future date, but feel free to pick up your phone right now and send the $25 before these books run out of stock. DEBORAH has a phone ready, and we want to see who will be the first to place an order. So, DEBORAH, welcome to the OneMicShow.
Thank you so much.
Okay. All right. Come closer to the mic and just tell us, how are you feeling today?
Well, I'm feeling great.
Okay.
I'm feeling great. I mean, I was in DC 2 years ago.
Okay.
I came to tour.
Mm-hmm.
I was gifted by a friend for my birthday.
Yes.
Because I'm a lover of history.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and I really write a lot about the American history.
Okay.
Despite the fact that I didn't grow up in America.
Okay.
So I was in DC basically to tour the various museums.
Okay.
And I didn't know that the next time I'll be in DC, I'll have written a book and I'll be in studio talking about the book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. It's interesting how things, turn out generally in life. The funny thing is that there's so many people who live in DC. We have all those free museums.
And they don't go.
And they don't go. They've never gone. I can tell you, it's very sad.
Very sad.
Yeah. There's so many people.
Let me tell you why it's not sad. There's so many Kenyans who have never climbed Mount Kenya.
And you know what? I'll give them that. But the museums in Kenya because when I went, my Uber driver, when I went to the museum in Kenya and the archives, my Uber drivers, they were like,
yeah, actually, nobody goes to the archives. I'm one of them.
See? And that's exactly, I mean...
And you're coming in DC, so that's an assignment for you. When you go back
to
Kenya,
archives, you should. There's some interesting things there.
Yeah, I've been to all the museums, but I've never been to the archives.
Has she been to Broadway?
Yes, I've been to Broadway.
Okay, just checking.
Okay. All right, yeah. So
it's all in the book. It's all in the book.
Yes.
Yeah, it's yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
You've read the book.
There you go. There you go. Yeah. So very interesting and exciting times to have you here in DC, and being back here. To launch a book.
Yeah.
Just reminding the listeners, the launch is gonna be tomorrow at Swahili Village, 1990 M Street. So those in the DMV, and I've already pinned the details for the people who want to buy the book. The book is not available on Amazon yet.
Yep.
It's still being worked on. We'll let you know.
That's why.
Yes, but there's a limited number of copies, so you want to send. It's a fast come, fast serve.
Yep.
Hakuna mambo yanajuana, or our grandfathers played together, or our grandmothers went to the same church or something like that. It's fast come, fast serve.
I'm trying to order mine right
I
now.
am Suba.
Right now.
Oh yeah, or I'm Suba, like we're from the same village, we are cousins.
Unasikia kuna mtu ataka feelings.
So those things we don't have any of those.
Okay.
Now, so this being your first book, Deborah, what got you to this path of authorship of writing a book? Is it a dream that you always had? Or what is it exactly that got you into writing, Deborah?
Okay, I think first of all, one thing to know about me, if you have followed me on social media for a long time, you know that I'm a storyteller. I use my time on social media writing stories. I actually have theme days. Like Monday, I'm going to talk about geopolitics, what's happening in the world. Sometimes I write about the various politicians. And I have on Tuesdays, I take care of Career Tuesday because I'm in corporate Kenya. So I talk about basically how to navigate the corporate Kenya, world. That is on Tuesdays. Then Wednesdays, I talk about inspirational Wednesdays. Fridays, I take care of Rumba. I have a Rumba Friday segment. Saturdays, I talk about sports. So originally, I'm a storyteller. So this is not something that is so far-fetched for me to do. I'm already a storyteller. So I knew that at some point, I'm going to have to tell my story, the story of my father, because to begin with, I'm a storyteller. I have the words. I'm able to write. I'm a writer. Then the second thing that made me write this book is I'm a reader also. But there to write, you have to read.
Absolutely.
You have to read. You can never write if you're not somebody who loves to interact with books.
Yes.
So I read a lot, and anytime I was in a library, in a bookshop, what I realized is whenever I'm in the autobiography section, every single book is about a famous person. You're talking presidents, you're talking, if it's in Kenya, you're talking about politicians, you're talking about Nobel Peace Prize winners, you're talking about athletes who've won gold. There's not a single autobiography about an ordinary guy. So now the question is, how will we all go to Harvard? Will we all go to Oxford? No. There are so many of us out here who are living normal lives, and our stories are able to impact. So it's not always about the people who won. What about the people who lost? What can we learn about the people who lost? So I thought it would be quite interesting for me to put out a book for the very first time. When somebody walks into the autobiography section you can ask the question, who the hell is this guy? And if you're interested enough to humor the book, you're going to get a very powerful story. And as predicted, the reason why this book is a bestseller is for the first time people are getting an autobiography of a person who looks like them. It's not all about, I went to Alliance, I went to Harvard, I became the president, I became the member of parliament. It's about a normal kawaida person going through kawaida issues and all that. So that is the second thing. The third thing is, if we have 8 billion people in the world, I believe we should have 8 billion books. Everybody has a story. I've never met anybody who we talked on a deep scale and I didn't find something that I can learn from. Everybody has a story. And one of the things that makes people not write books is because we feel that autobiographies should be of famous people, But the truth is we are losing a lot by not reading from everybody else. So that's the third thing. And then the fourth thing, of course, I love my dad, and I wanted to honor him by writing a book so that if not for anybody else, for my children, my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren, to know that once upon a time there was this guy, and there was this our great-great-great-grandmother wrote about his story. This is basically where we come from. So part of it is also austerity. If you look at the book right now, I have a family tree. Very few Africans can trace their roots back, even four generations.
That's true.
That's true. Like if I ask you who is your great grandfather, most Africans
people
can.
Don't know.
And so if we continue like this, that's the trend. That means our children will only remember us and our fathers. Nobody will remember their grandfather. So this is part of it. It's something that is evidence of proof of us being here for my children and for my grandchildren and the generations that will come after me.